Stray bullets rang out in another Bridgeport neighborhood Tuesday night.
Stray bullets hitting both homes and cars, two shootouts, has some people telling us they feel like Bridgeport is more like the Wild West these days.
Opened fire on a group of people walking home from a party.
I'll have you know that Bridgeport is among the world leaders in abandoned buildings, shattered glass, boarded up windows, wild dogs, and gas stations without pumps.
Allow the state-appointed Board of Education here in Bridgeport to remain intact.
Taking our constitutional right. You know, we voted for the Board of Education. We chose who we wanted to represent us, and he took that away from us.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. Home to almost 150,000 people, making it the state's largest city. Bridgeport often gets a bad reputation in the media for violence, crime, and a struggling education system. The students attending Bridgeport schools are repeatedly underperforming in standardized testing. The state of Connecticut has the dubious distinction of leading the nation in the achievement gap. Governor Malloy plans to change this in 2012, since only about 55% of Bridgeport students graduate high school. The city of Fairfield, which is only 5 minutes away, has a graduation rate of 92%. The recent opening of Discovery Magnet Elementary, a brand new interdistrict school, is attempting to pave the way towards solutions in education in the Bridgeport school system.
That drops off.
The two sixth-grade teachers at Discovery have a different approach to teaching Bridgeport students than the traditional public schools.
In my science classes, I do a lot of short lecture, and then I spend the rest of the time doing hands-on activities. And I do that to give them a background knowledge on what they're about ready to do, and then the rest of it is kind of inquiry-based. So if they're asking questions and they're trying to find the answers with the hands-on activities, and I feel like maybe they're more vested in their learning.
Well, I am very project-based in teaching. We have varying abilities in this school, and as a teacher, I taught the gifted program, I've taught ESL classes, and I've taught I was the mainstream teacher for the artistic program in my other school. So when you have so many varying abilities, you know, I really do like to do a lot of project-based. So I usually group them in writing and reading, and then something like social studies, it's more heterogeneous, but they get to make their own decisions. For instance, we do literature circles, so everyone is reading a novel based on their own ability. I really believe in novels and not anthologies or anything like that. And, you know, I'm also have read everything they read. So I know about the characters and I guide them in their discussion, but they basically run their groups, and at the end it's a lot of enrichment and things like that.
Sitting down and talking with 4 of the 6th grade students in Mrs. Servino and Landing's class, it's obvious these methods of teaching are keeping them engaged. What are your favorite subjects in school?
Science.
Yeah, science.
Math and science.
Math and science?
Oh, not like language arts, like social studies, because we do like these big activities, like we have to like
social studies or science.
Yeah, because like we learn about a place and then we have to like live it for like a couple of days and like do all these crazy activities and everything. Yeah.
So. And also, I like all 4 activities. I like all 4 subjects that we take.
Discovery's principal, Mary Beth Stickley, is confident in the teachers she has chosen for her school.
It's a pivotal age, just like kindergarten is, and it moves students to their future success, I believe, in middle school and in high school and then onto college. And the reason why I chose those teachers is totally to support what I'm saying about the age and that grade being pivotal. They're 2 individuals with different personalities that are so unique, and the kids enjoy them. The kids love them. They work them very hard, but they're not complaining that the work is difficult. They enjoy it. They go home each day and share with their parents what they've learned.
Their success with Bridgeport students may have to do with the fact they've taught in urban areas before.
For teaching for so long in only urban districts, I think that the kids, a lot of them come with a lot of baggage. You know, you don't know what happened in the morning when they came in, and you know, you have to wear lots of hats. They're the friend and the mom and their psychiatrist and, you know, their counselor.
And I've taught in several other schools in Bridgeport as well, and for some reason coming here, and maybe it's a new school or the technology or the expectations that everyone has for these kids performing at a higher level, they seem to be answering to those expectations that we're delivering.
CAP testing, a standardized performance test that the 10th grade students must pass in order to graduate high school. As expected, Bridgeport did much worse than Fairfield this past year.
What do you think about that?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, Bridgeport is an interesting district because it really, there are so many different types of populations in Bridgeport. Whenever you're dealing with an urban population, you are dealing with people who are seriously economically struggling in every sense of the word. You know, which you don't have in Fairfield and, you know, even, you know, state, you know, the state averages. I think families have a lot to do with this. You know, parents either can't devote the time to their children because they're working seriously 3 jobs. Or, you know, they have other issues that are going on at home. You're comparing apples and oranges in a lot of ways.
Knowing a lot of the parents in Bridgeport don't necessarily come from the same type of background, and they're working more than one job, and a lot of our schools are free or reduced lunches, and kids don't eat on the weekends because their parents don't have money to feed them. And I think that has a lot to do with it. The only real education that the kids are getting are in the classroom. They're not getting that second education at home because the parents are struggling with so many other issues.
But the students in Mrs. Servino and Landing's class understand the importance of getting good grades and going to college.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited because
I want to go either
high
to
school.
Yale, UConn, or Sacred Heart.
What about USC, guys? Where do you guys want to go?
I don't know. I have to think about it more. I haven't really think about it.
You're going to go to Yale?
Yeah. I'd like to stay somewhere close to here, so maybe Sacred Heart or Yale.
Since the students arrived at Discovery Magnet, the teachers have already seen a big improvement in their development.
I'm not sure if it's a result of the school or if it's a result of just, you know, from the beginning of the year, we've had them for almost 10 months, and we're hoping that there is some sort of improvement.
I can tell you that since my students walked in September to this point, everyone has made improvements. Our school has so many things offered to them. You know, we have laptops and, you know, smart boards.
And even more good news, Discovery Magnet is growing stronger every year.
Physically, we started with kindergarten and preschool only last year. Mm-hmm. So now we have preschool through 3rd grade and 6th grade, and next year we'll have preschool through 7th grade. So, you know, we're refining and trying to critique everything we do to make sure that each year it improves. Because nothing's ever perfect. It's always a work in progress.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we continue to do.
With a struggling school system, standout teachers like Mrs. Servino and Landing are truly making a change in these students' lives.
I'd like to feel like I'm making a difference. I like to see that they come in and they're excited about learning. They're excited to do science projects. Students that didn't like science previously are really excited about coming in and doing it. So I feel like if I can make little differences like that each day, that'll build up to hopefully becoming a difference where I've changed the idea of what they want to graduate in or the fact that they want to go to college now.
I go home and I could put my head on the pillow every night and say, I gave 100%.